What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Collective. I'm your host, Mercedes Lynn. Thank you again for tuning in. Oh man, I know I am super late by 2 days dropping this episode, but you know what? We're gonna record it tonight, edit it, and publish it, and have it ready for the morning. So bear with me, y'all. This past week has been super crazy, nuts. I can't even put into words. Like, we'll talk about it later. But to get started into today's episode, episode 3, we made it to episode 3, y'all. Um, this one is going to be really a spinoff of last episode, Becoming Without Apology. It's kind of like a part 2, so I'm just going to like feed into a couple of the topics that we talked about last episode, and add a few more in there and just kind of expand on, growth, growing, and becoming who you are supposed to be without apology, or feeling bad about it, right? So, to kind of start it off, the first topic that I want to hit on is outgrowing old versions of yourself. And to me, honestly, this is super important because there will always be different versions of you throughout your entire life. Whether it was the young you, the middle age you, the old you, just those 3 stages, or 100 of different stages in between each of those. But outgrowing the old version of you teaches you a lot in life and helps you learn, the good and the bad within yourself, um, others, and just helps you understand the world around you. Sometimes this can make, and I know we talked about this last episode, but sometimes outgrowing your old version of yourself can make people uncomfortable, and that is 100% okay. And I just want to throw that out there and make sure everyone knows, like, it's okay to outgrow people. Not everyone is meant to go with you in every season of your life, and being okay with growth and making progress and trying to be a better person, you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with accepting those that are supposed to go with you and accepting those that are supposed to be left behind. Not necessarily left behind, but um, accepting those that are supposed to be going a total different route than you are. So um, with that, it comes with grief, obviously. Grieving the old version of you, grieving the old you, old ways, old things, old period. And you could grieve the old you in many different ways, but at the end of the day, as long as you understand the reason behind it all, I think you'll be okay at the end of the day, because the ultimate goal is to grow. um, um, Choosing evolution over what's familiar can sometimes be hard for people, especially those that are not used to change, or accepting change, or those that are just now starting this becoming stage of their life. And when you choose evolution over the stuff that's familiar to you, you kind of open up your mind and yourself to see the world differently, see yourself differently, and a lot of things out in the world, period. Evolving into a person or something that you've dreamed of, or something that just came about because it was time, or whatever the case may be. It can get uncomfortable as well, and with it being uncomfortable, you just have to take it day by day. At that point, you have to take it day by day and just kind of go with it. Let things happen the way they're supposed to, because it's always going to be for the better. The next topic I want to hit on is kind of ties into it a little bit, but shifts the focus more so to the action side of things. And the topic's called discipline is greater than motivation. And I wanted to hit on this topic because, yes, it's cool to, set goals for yourself. It's cool to write down all these ball notes and make vision boards and all these cool things that we love to do, especially in the beginning of the year, in the beginning of a new year. We like to say a lot of these things. We like to think a lot of these things and believe a lot of these things. And a lot of us in this world are okay with that portion. A lot of us like the idea, and sometimes we fail to actually act on it because we get sidetracked, or some type of barrier comes up in the road where we're like, okay, well, this is here, so maybe it's not meant to be. But that may not always necessarily be the case. In the process of acting upon these things and setting all this stuff in motion, after doing it for so long, sometimes, depending on what the goal is that you are acting upon, it can get pretty boring, or you could get discouraged because something's not going your way, or you're not seeing results fast enough. So at that point, whatever motivated you to start in the beginning starts to kind of dwindle and, wither away a little bit. And that's when discipline kicks in. Having or being able to have discipline is very important in life, period. It doesn't matter what it is that you're doing. You be coloring. Having the discipline to finish the page that you're on and move on to the next, or working out like we mentioned before in other episodes. Having the discipline to continue to get up every single morning, or leave work and head straight to the gym and hit the gym and work out. It goes a long way, and the discipline hits way harder than whatever motivated you from the jump. Because when that motivation runs out, or you're not having a good day and you feel like you could take the day off, that discipline in the back of your mind is like, hey, you need to get this done now, because if you don't do it now, tomorrow's gonna come and you're not gonna do it. Next day's gonna come, you're not gonna do it, and next thing you know, we're months down the line where we've fell off so hard that we forgot what the motivation was to begin with. So having discipline and being able to grasp that and hold on to that is always going to be far more greater than whatever the motivation is behind your goal that you're set, or anything, regardless of what it is. Systems, habits, and showing up when you're tired plays a huge role, or plays huge roles in this as well, because setting systems could be routines, whatever your routine is on a day-to-day basis or weekly, monthly basis. It's important that you continue to stick with that, and as you're going through these phases of your goal that you set, or whatever it is, you are adding to it to make it better, and within these routines and systems that you're continuously doing on a day-to-day basis, you're also, not only are you building discipline, but you're creating good habits. And this could go for anything. Like I said earlier, within this routine and these good habits that you're building, there's going to be days when you don't want to do it, or there's going to be days where you don't want to go through with it. And showing up for yourself when you're tired is probably the biggest thing, besides being disciplined with yourself in several scenarios, in several different cases. Showing up for yourself when you're tired is going to take you a long way in life, and you're going to look back whenever you reach whatever goal that you set, and you're going to literally look yourself in the mirror and say, hey dude, or hey girl, you did that. And at the end of the day, success and any type of satisfaction that you're getting out of these goals that you're setting and reaching, it's all going to be worth it. What discipline looks like in real life outside of social media. That's a good question. What does discipline look like in real life outside of social media? Kind of hit on this a little bit, but that looks like showing up for yourself. Like I said, when you're tired, creating these systems and these routines and sticking to them regardless of what comes up. Protecting your peace without guilt was another topic that I wanted to hit on as well. Um, and to me, this has been something that I've been actually practicing myself in real life, in real time, because as I'm getting older, I'm 29 years old. As I'm getting older, I am noticing that my peace and my time, my peace and my time are becoming more and more important to me because, when I was younger, you get into a little, argument, scuffle with your friends or the person that you're dating, whatever, and we'll be arguing all day, and for as long as the other person across from you is willing to continue to go back and forth with you. And as I'm getting older, just looking at that sense and that like topic specifically, I'm starting to believe that a lot of the energy that I was giving to certain people in certain situations when I was younger was definitely not worth it. And like I said, as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize like, hey, my mental health for one is like super super important, and I don't want to put myself in a unnecessary situation because I'm allowing things that don't deserve the power to claim power over my peace and my mind and my well-being. Um Protecting your peace without guilt can um, correlate to family, friends, and even work. So like, and at the end of the day, like whatever brings you peace and whatever works for you is basically going to be your answer. So just keep that in mind. And you don't have to feel like you are stuck. You don't have to feel like you have to be bound and obligated to stay in these spaces that do not serve you in a positive way. And that is 100% okay. I promise you, it's 100% okay. I've been in several situations where I'm like, yo, I hate it here. And I know hate is a strong word, but like we all go through these phases. As long as you are taking care of yourself and you're able to, live the way you want and the way that's comfortable for you, that's fine. Saying no without over explaining, kind of hit on this last episode, but I want to kind of reiterate that saying no is okay. You don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to be a people pleaser, and you don't have to say no and then feel like you have to give an explanation behind it. No is a full sentence, and a lot of people in this world totally understand what no means. 100%. So no alone should be enough. Now, if it's not enough for the person that you telling no to, then y'all might have to have a discussion. Be like, hey, look, listen, this is what it is. This is what it ain't. And then move on from that. But don't feel like you have to explain yourself on why you can or can't do something. If you tell a person straight up, like, hey, no, I'm not doing that. Like, you don't owe anyone an apology. You don't owe anyone an explanation to why or why not. That is that. And that's just what it is. We just gonna leave that where it's at. Know that it's okay to let people misunderstand you. You don't have to explain yourself to every person. You don't have to explain yourself for every situation in most cases. If it's not professional or legal, anything like that, if it's just a normal day-to-day conversation or a normal day-to-day situation, like, it's okay to be misunderstood. It is okay to let people think whatever they're going to think, because at the end of the day, people are going to feel how they want and people are going to say what they want, and there's nothing that you can do about it. I had to learn that the hard way, and I'm still learning that to this day. Yeah, that's just life. This is the way life is. There's freedom of speech, freedom of thought. All this stuff exists, right? But it is okay to be misunderstood, and it's okay to let people think whatever it is they're going to think. As long as you are being a good person at heart, and as long as your intentions are pure, genuine, and authentic, you should have no issues getting by in life. And when you do the right things, you meet the right people, you network, and so on. You will live your life the way you want, and you'll be fine. I promise you. I promise you. You'll look back 5 years, 10 years, and what this one person said about you, or how you wore this, and what you said about this, you're probably going to forget about it, or it's not going to bother you in a way that it once did. Um, Mindset and real life conversations are very, very important. But having a good mindset behind it all, behind your goals, behind who you are becoming, who you want to be, and just life period, will take you a long way, and will help you open your eyes to new things and experiences, and it's just awesome at the end of the day when you really get to see, the fruits of your labor. Um, Honestly, I just thought the last few things that we talked about were kind of relatable, and maybe a little controversial, but give or take. Um, Hopefully, you guys can kind of go back and listen to these things, and kind of feel somewhat of a connection, if any. Know that regardless of what space or what season you're in, you're not behind. I know this generation that I'm in right now, and the way things that are shifting, we may feel like, hey, we're not doing enough, or we're not on time. You are on time. You are on your time at the end of the day. You were put on this earth to live life, right? You were put on this earth to love. You were put on this earth to serve your purpose. And as long as you are moving forward, and you're not stagnant, and just staying comfortable and content with where you are, and you're continuing to progress and prevail, like, um, you're on the right track. So don't feel like you're behind because you're not. You don't have this that this other person has, or you're not in this space that this other person just got in. You're seeing all of these accomplishments that these people are graduating from college, buying new cars, buying houses, having kids, and getting married and all this stuff. You're on your own path, and it's super, super important that you keep your eye on your why, and always remember that you are here. You're not here, you're not there with this person or that person. You're here, and you need to stay here, and always stay, grounded in everything that you do. Because getting sidetracked, and looking over to the left or looking over to the right, and seeing what everyone else is doing, right, and it could help you negatively lose track of what it is that you're supposed to be doing, or whatever it is, the goal that you set. Um, it's not always good to compare timelines. Like, it's okay to congratulate people from where they came from, and where they're at, and where they're going. But comparing their life or their timeline, or whatever it is that they're doing at the moment, can be detrimental to your own success, and detrimental to your mindset, period. And that's something that we don't necessarily want to do. um know we're all different speeds in life. This person might be the turtle, this person might be the rabbit, this person might be the cheetah, and regardless of it all, we're all focused on the finish line. And whether the cheetah finishes first, the rabbit gets sidetracked and stops over here at the garden and gets some carrots, or the turtle is just slowly making its way there. But um, at the end of the day, like I said, we're all focused on the same mission, the same goal, and that's to get to the finish line. Whatever the finish line is for you. My finish line is definitely not the same finish line as the next person is but as long as hey, like, this this finish line may not be the only finish line. This first finish line may be your goal to finish school, and then the next finish line could be, okay, well, I'm gonna buy my house, and I'm gonna start my master's degree, and so on. Like, don't think that just because you're here or almost to the finish line, or maybe if you're finished, that's the end of your journey and there's nothing else that you could be doing, right? Create another goal, create another journey, and then start working towards your next finish line. And redefine that success with your goals and your journey and your walk in life on your terms. um, and with saying all of that, while you're on this journey, you're trying to get to your finish line or finish lines, um, know that there's a cost, a very, very expensive cost to staying comfortable. And I actually talked about this with my husband the other day about being content with life and being okay with being uncomfortable in certain situations. And when I say that, I mean that it's okay to be content for now with where you are in life, or where your journey is starting, but eventually something along the way is going to make you uncomfortable, and it's okay 100% to grasp that and try to take control of that and let that that sense of uncomfortability guide you in a place that will take you far in life, and let that feeling or emotion or whatever it is, let it really sink in so that you can feel like, hey, this is familiar even though it's uncomfortable the next time it happens. Being content or comfortable can make whatever fears that you have, take them and heighten them even more intensely than that there already are. When I say that, I'm talking about those that are that are in fear of change, scared of certain things because they don't know, they can't necessarily see the end of the road, they can't necessarily see the finish line yet, and that's totally fine. I myself used to be in in that state of mind where I'm like, oh no, I'm so used to doing this way, I'm so used to being here, and things being this way, that I was actually started to be like very, very scared of change. And with certain things, I wanted to know this and that, and I wanted to have all of the details so that I knew exactly what was going to be the end result at the end of the day. And life just doesn't work like that. And as I'm getting older, I'm learning that you have to be okay with change. It's okay to be, a little scared or nervous or whatever the case may be, but having fear, or so much fear that it prevents you from moving or taking the next step in life that you need to get to where you want to be or where you need to be, it can hold you back. And that's not something that we necessarily want when we're trying to be successful and we're trying to reach these goals. That discomfort that you may have to endure or feel, it's not forever. It may be for a couple minutes, it may be for a couple seconds, it may be for, a week or a couple days, a month or whatever, but that season too shall pass, and it always does. There's always a rainbow and sunlight at the end of the tunnel. After you make it through whatever darkness or low light that you're going through, you eventually will come out on top, and you'll see the light again. So don't be fearful of change. Comfort it, accept it, take it in, and take it head on. Let's see, what else do we have today? The last topic I wanted to kind of hit on talks about healing. We hit on a little bit about being uncomfortable and being okay with it. now shifting our focus over to healing, and how healing isn't necessarily pretty. Healing can be uncomfortable. Healing can be one of those things that um, feels super weird, but at the end of the day, it's all a part of life. It's all about the process of growing and getting better in whatever it is that you're healing from, right? um Healing while still functioning is very, very important. Depending on what the thing or things or entity that you're healing from, whether it's mentally, physically, spiritually, and so on, financially, um know that it's okay to continue to move around and function the way that you once may have. And even if you cannot function the same way, as long as you're doing something and you are trying your best to just function, period, and continue to move forward, that you're making progress. And whatever storm it is that you're going through, if that's the case, know that just like the tunnel doesn't last long, the storm got to end someday. And once it ends and you see the sunshine and the clouds, part, and you see that bright light, you will know that this whole process was worth it. um 9 times out of 10, you will come out as a better person that you were before, more intelligent, because you've learned certain things from this stage and this storm that you were just in. Healing isn't pretty, and healing can sometimes be lonely, and some people thrive by themselves. Some people thrive in loneliness. Crazy to say, but some people operate better when they are in that state of loneliness and they're in that state of just being self by themselves and isolated. I wouldn't recommend it to those that don't thrive in those type of environments, but if you are that person, know that you are loved. And like I said, that the season that you are in now, or the season that you could possibly be in this is certain situation, like it doesn't last forever. And I can say that 1,000 times. But like I said, as long as you can acknowledge where you are, where you're trying to be, and continue to put the next foot forward, then you will always be okay. You'll always be all right. um I pretty much hit on all the topics I wanted to talk about today. Shout out to y'all for supporting this podcast. Episode 3, I was so happy that I was able to stay with this thing for 3 episodes, because crazy thing that I found out the other day, there's a lot of people that start podcasts that don't necessarily make it to their 3rd episode. They quit after 1 or 2, and I'm just like, I'm super pumped and amped up to continue this space that I've created and continue to do this and drop weekly episodes for y'all. If there's anything in particular that y'all want me to talk about, or anybody that y'all would like to see me bring on my podcast, just let me know in the comments or something. DM me. I don't mind responding to those. But yeah, like I said, I'm just super excited for what the future has to offer. I'm super excited for what the future has to offer, and I'm really like motivated to continue this thing and just keep it going. But with that being said, we have reached the end of this episode. I am super tired. Y'all can hear my voice. I appreciate y'all for staying this long. And like I will always do, I want to leave you guys with something that you can take with you, and hopefully it can help, whatever situation that you have going on right now. Never stop learning about yourself. Never stop learning about the next person next to you that you care about. Always be open to, things that you're not used to, things that you're not too fond of, or that's not in your daily routine or your everyday morals or values. Um, conversate, network, conversating and networking with strangers will open your mind and, maybe opportunities in your life that you never even thought could happen. Um, always keep those that you care about close to you. Tell your loved ones that you love them, and no matter what's going on in your life, try your best to stay positive. Um, even if it's like the worst season that you're in, know that you would not be going through these things if you could not handle them, because one thing about it, God knows, and so does the universe. And at the end of the day, if you're focused on your finish line and you're able to maneuver through these barriers and bumps in the road, you will make it to the promised land. You will make it to whatever stage that you are trying to reach. And that's the truth. At the end of the day, always remember that you are loved, and that's it. That's all. Stay present, y'all. I'll see y'all next episode.